And look who's back again, the fastest growing wrestlers, talk about football, talk about wrestling show in the world right here at Sportskeeda.com. I'm your host, the coach. This is the Coach and Bro Show. And this particular night, we've got a very special guest. And because he's a professional, and because he loves football, and because he respects us, he's going to be here for the entire time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in my partner, Mr. Vince Russo, and the one and only, the winner of the very first Tough Enough show, the one and only Maven. With all due respect, Vince, we got to welcome in our guest.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a round. I'm going to use my Roadcaster right here. Here we go, Broadcaster.
We got gimmicks. Maven, what's up, man?
I'm well, thank you, bro. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take a round of applause any place I can get it. So thank you, guys. Love what you both are doing. I talked to Coach quite a bit, and I think that the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge you guys have on a myriad of subjects needs to be heard. So I'm glad you're doing what you're doing.
Well, very, very kind of you. And we're glad to have met each other, me and Vince, but me and Maven, Vince, we go back over 20 years. Do you know, Vince, that I hosted the very first 2 seasons of Tough Enough? I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that, Coach. I did not know that.
Yeah, I got to announce him as the winner.
Coach was there on my day one journey. The day I came for my audition, Coach was there in a very ugly shirt, like a jersey or something, might I add.
and Maven, we have a lot in common, too. I mean, we've never met each other. The first time I'm meeting you, but, I do a show, and I've known Al Snow for 25, 30 years. Stevie Richards, I do a show with Stevie loves you. So we've got a family connection, even though this is the first time we're meeting, and it is an honor and a pleasure.
No, it's one of those. Awesome. This is one of those meetings that I knew from the people that I know that I would love. So and couldn't be a bigger fan, and couldn't enjoy your work more. So I'm happy today is happening.
Yeah, you are. We're trying to change the game. Everybody out there watching on Sportskeeda.com. You think that wrestlers just like talking about wrestlers? It's literally the last thing that any of us want to talk about. We love talking about sports, and we love talking about the NFL. And combining the two. Now, gentlemen, this year, where was WrestleMania? Well, it was in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, right? Well, guess where Monday Night Football is tonight? That's right. The city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles, according to DraftKings, laying 5.5. The money line, if you so choose to play the Falcons plus 200, the total sitting at 46. Maven, you are our guest today. So I need to know, what are you playing? Anything that you're picking, big boy?
Yeah, well, once A.J. Brown, was officially out for tonight's game with a hamstring injury, it kind of swayed my decision, but I'm sticking with the Eagles, and here's why. There's something wrong with Kirk Cousins. I don't know if maybe he's not fully healthy. I don't know if he's just not used to the system he's playing there in Atlanta. But there's just something not right. And I'm not 100% sure that the Falcons aren't excited about maybe getting that rookie Penix in there. But I think for tonight, I think the Eagles are going to keep it on the ground. They're going to have a 1-2 punch with Barkley and Hurts. They're going to keep the ball away from the Falcons, keep it away from Kirk Cousins. I think 5.5 I think it's right exactly where that number needs to be. I'm going with the Eagles for tonight.
I got your back, big boy. I love the Eagles too. And have we ever seen, guys, a happier player going from New York City, Vince, your player, Saquon, right down the Jersey Turnpike, and all of a sudden he's like, I don't have to run the ball 30 times a game. I can run inside the 10, score 3 touchdowns, and I'm good. So, Maven, I got your back. I'm laying minus 5.5 as well. Vince, where are you going, big boy?
I gotta go, Coach. I gotta tell you, I'm going over I'm going to the over 46 at minus 110, and I'm kind of piggybacking on what you guys are saying. I think I think the Falcons are going to be playing from behind for the entirety of the game. So I see a lot of Cousins passing. I see a lot of points being put up on the board in this one. So I'm going with the over. I think the Eagles will win. I think they may win by 10 or more, but I think it's going to be a shootout, bro. And I think the Falcons are going to be chasing them throughout the entire game.
I like the over too. And Maven, you mentioned Kirk Cousins. Well, the problem is his Achilles. Aaron Rodgers has not been moving around very well, and Kirk Cousins is coming back from the same injury, which is why everybody said $180 million. But you mentioned the rookie, and the rookie out of Washington. What do you think it's going to take? How bad does Kirk Cousins need to play for that rookie to come in tonight?
I think if they get to 3 consecutive losses, or if Cousins just has another bad performance. Cousins, as a former Redskins or Commanders fan, as I watched a lot of Cousins as he came up. Cousins is the guy that'll take you to the dance, but he's not the person you want to dance with once you get there. He'll take you so far, but he's not the person that you want to lean on and rely on. And everybody knows he does not, I repeat, does not play well in Monday night or big, main event, standalone games. So I think they're going to want to, when you have something new, you want to use it. You want to break it out. You want to shine the cobwebs off of it. So I think if they get to 3 losses consecutive back to back and Cousins has bad performances in all, they'll want to put the rookie out there. Plus, I just don't think he's healthy yet. The one thing I think we all can attest to is the older we get, we don't heal quicker. That's just not the way Mother Nature works. So I don't think there's any way he's healed off that Achilles injury.
It's the hardest injury to come back from in football. And then Vince, also tonight, what the Falcons are going to run into. We've all been to Philly, and you know how Philly fans say, "Oh, we're the best fans in the world. We're the best sports fans, the best wrestling fans." Oh, until your 10-1 team lays an egg at the end of last season. Now they looked okay against the Packers in Brazil 10 days ago, but they need to show out tonight. And I think if they get up by a lot, that gas pedal, Vince, just continues to go down.
Yeah, the defense last week against the Packers, I think they were 28th for the week out of 32 teams. But here's another real interesting statistics, Coach. I mean, if you want to, a gimme, bro, if you want to just take the money line, do you know in the last 17 games at home, the Eagles are 13-4. Last 17 games on the road, the Falcons are 3-14. So, man, if you just wanted to go money line, like, I don't know, bro, this may be money in the bank.
Yeah.
I think I haven't looked at it. You agree with that, Maven?
Stat. Yeah, that's just, you can't argue with statistics. I didn't know that. Like he just changed my bet. Well, the amount of bet of what I'm going to lay. That's a phenomenal stat.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal stat.
Let's look at the money line real quick, because I'm guessing, I haven't even looked at it. I'm guessing it's minus 238 if you want the Eagles just to win, meaning you got to lay $238 to win 100. Sometimes that's a high number, but I don't mind laying that if it's in a situation like this, Maven.
I don't mind laying it if the stats back it, and what Bro said, if the stats back that number. And anytime, you're never going to go broke taking a profit. That's for certain. So I might even look at getting a parlay in there as well. And I was looking a little earlier, lay that maybe alongside a Saquon Barkley. I
anytime
like
touchdown.
Hey,
now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Now what I like to call it is building a number. Now we're building a number. We're helping that number get to the plus, the positive.
Vince, listen to Maven talk about betting like this. I have kind of a tear coming down the side of my cheek, Vince. I really, really do. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I got to tell you, I had Coach, I don't know what the lineup is today. I had a tear coming down my cheek last night when I was calling these bookies every name in the book because, Coach, you want to talk about parlays, bro. In last night's game, bro, I had the over. And I had minus freaking 6, bro. Minus 6. And, bro, we had that fumble at the freaking goal line. So the minus 6 was a push. And I was calling the bookies every name in the book. How the frig do you guys come up with minus 6 knowing we're going to fumble on the 1 yard line that could have iced the game, iced the parlay, coach? I don't get it, man.
I was cursing also, but I bought it down to, as we educate people around this great land of ours, I bought it from 6 down to 5.5. I believe when you have a favorite and it's one of those numbers like 6 or 7 or 3, I buy that half a point. So I actually won last night. But you're right. In a parlay or a teaser, when you've got that push, it just really makes the number wacky. Or in some instances, in a teaser, you don't get paid. Parlays, it just adjusts. But there's no doubt about it. But I would love Maven. I've said this about Vince. We bring him on. I've got another little show on called Rant Wednesday, and he just goes off. Can you imagine how funny Vince must be if he's sitting on 6 and they fumble at the 2 to go up 13? How funny would that be?
If I was you, I would be sitting there with Kleenex, with tissues, just because I'd be crying the whole time. I could. I don't cry.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I just cuss at my TV, Maven. I don't cry.
I'm saying I would be laughing at you. I could watch you rant the phone book. I could literally watch you read names out of the phone book ranting, and it would be.
Well, listen, man, you got any subjects? I will kayfabe it. I will never say it's coming from you, but maybe you ever want me going off on anybody, bro? Just give me the Iggy, bro. Just give me the Iggy.
Done. I've gotten too much of a reputation as being the nice guy and the guy that doesn't go off. Now I know my outlet. I'm just going to.
You need a heater. You need a heater, bro. I'll be the heater. Yes.
I love it. Love it.
You guys are watching the Coach and Bro Show, brand new show here on Sportskeeda.com. So thrilled to have our good friend Maven along for the ride today. So that is Monday Night Football. But we talk about the Falcons. Well, they might not even be the third best team in there. Well, they are the third because Carolina sucks. But the way Tampa has played, but I want to go with the Saints, guys. The Saints went to Dallas, America's team, right, Maven? And Dallas is talking about, Dak got his bag, 4 years, 240. CeeDee Lamb got his bag. It's going to be their year for the first time in 27 years. But again, what happened? The Saints, 91 points in the first 2 weeks. What did you make of that beat down in Big D that saw people make like they were at an AEW show about 90 minutes in going for the exits? I had to take the shot. What did you make of that, Maven?
Here's what I made of it. There's another guy who's looking for his bag, and his name is Micah Parsons. But if he keeps putting out performances like he did yesterday, he's going to get paid, but he's hurting his chances of getting that top tier, that upper echelon, best defensive, most expensive defensive player in the league money. We're a long way removed from a few years back when everybody was, for whatever reason, saying he was Lawrence Taylor reincarnated. Yesterday, Carr took the Saints at will up and down that field. And Dallas was never in it at any point. And that's what shocked me. The fact that there was never a time that the outcome of that game was in question.
And here's the problem, that NFL teams are really good at figuring out what other teams do to certain teams. And Vince, what we saw yesterday is that when you do this, meaning you got guys just running back and forth and just crisscrossing, Dallas didn't know who to guard. And all of a sudden, these guys, the three of us could have scored yesterday. Alvin Kamara was so open on all 4 touchdowns, he didn't even get touched. No. But Vince, now if you're a Dallas fan and they're the most popular franchise in the world, what was that?
I got to tell you, Coach, I happen to be listening to this game in my car, and I could not believe, bro, every time they touched the ball, they were score. I think they scored their first 5 possessions, I think. Bro, this game was over before it even started. Bro, like I said, man, I'm listening on Sirius, and I was absolutely shocked. I mean, I had the over. I knew there were going to be a lot of points scored, but to come out and score on your first 5 possessions, bro, that absolutely blew me away.
Yeah, the over went off at 46.5, and that came in the first half. Maven, go.
Another thing, Dallas is trying running back by committee, and that just does not work. It's not going to work. I think they're realizing what they had with the 1-2 punch a couple years ago with Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard. And now that Pollard's moved on, I mean, Elliott's just, again, injuries, age. He's just not the same back that he was. I mean, there's a lot wrong in Big D right now.
They talk about respect. Is it respecting him to make him wear 15 when he comes back to the team that he led for so many? It looks weird having him in 15. Yeah, you know what also looks weird, guys, is watching Taylor Swift, who, when her boyfriend gets a 3-yard pass, runs 2 yards, gets tackled, and if you look at her, because CBS showed her every time. You would think that he was going on an 80-yard touchdown scamper, and it was 2 yards. It's like, oh. Maven, I can't take it. I cannot take it anymore. And they're my squad, dog. They're my squad.
And how many receptions did Kelsey have yesterday? I think it was only like 2 or 3. He was non-existent for the game.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was in the first game he had 3, and then. But you know what they said? They said that he was being used as a distraction. And I was like, really? Distraction? Yeah. So I'm going to look up real quick in real time. And yesterday, Travis Kelce.
I think he had like 2 or 2.
Oh, Maven, do not respect him that much. 1 for 5 yards. So Taylor Swift got shown more, Vince, than Travis Kelce had catches yesterday.
I got to tell you, Coach, man, my job depended on ratings, bro. I didn't deliver ratings. I didn't have a job. Bro, she's ratings. I wouldn't be surprised if the network is paying her X amount of dollars just to go to her every single time. She's ratings. And listen, man, maybe he's only had 3 catches in his first 2 games, but Coach, they're in love, bro. And that's all that really matters, Coach. They're in love.
See,
Come
Maven,
on.
This is what I deal with, Maven.
Come on,
I had
Coach.
no idea he was going there.
Come on, Coach.
Absolutely none. You are so great.
And Coach hating on love.
Yeah, I got to ask this question very, very simply, because we all do. I hate the word podcasts, because podcasts, I call it the podcast mentality. Show up when you want, do what you want, tape when you want. And the first few episodes of the Kelsey's podcast was pretty good. It was entertaining. He was like laying out where he was going, following her around. But then, Maven, they get a $100 million deal between him and his brother, Jason Kelce. And they can barely put out 1 episode a week.
Yeah.
And they're getting $100 million. Do you think that maybe somewhere deep in that contract that she has to show up at least 1 time?
Absolutely. I don't even think it's deep in the contract. It's on paragraph 2. I agree with everything bro just said. There's 100% a check or a wire transfer being sent into her bank account, making sure that the network shows her, because he hit the nail on the head. Ratings is everything. And they believe if we're bringing women to football by showing their favorite pop star, hell, why not? I heard a long time ago that comedians, once they make it, they're just not as funny anymore. And I hope the same can't be said of the Kelce's. I'm not gonna hate on anybody for making that. Make that money, get that $100 million, but make sure that the content that you put out stays top notch. And hey, with or without Taylor, I don't know. It probably helps that she's there.
And Vince, nobody knows that better than my man Maven. He literally did something, and I don't want to embarrass him, but Maven did something with his YouTube channel that I don't think has ever been done. He went from 0 to over 200,000 subs in like 3 months or 2 months. So if anybody knows great content, it would be you. It's bananas what you've done. It's impossible what you've done. I don't know how you did it, but it's great content. That's where you start. That's where you start.
Sold my soul at the crossroads, Coach. Sold my soul at the crossroads.
Hey, tell me where that crossroads is, big boy. I'll sell mine too.
Bro, think about selling your soul though, bro. You know, like with the whole romance, Kelsey and Taylor Swift. Bro, think about here you got this big, you know, NFL player, this superstar, multimillionaire, how many times over? Bro, think about the schmo this guy is going to look like when the breakup occurs, bro, and then she's writing songs on her album about Kelsey to her 13-year-old audience, bro. He is going to look like the biggest schmo. Bro, can you imagine the fans in the rest of the league, bro, when she's dedicating albums to the breakup of her and Kelsey, bro? Can you imagine the girly man, Sissy Mary, this dude's going to look like? Is it worth it, Coach? Like, see, he's going to look like Joe Jonas, bro. Come on.
Hey, and Coach, also, I'm not saying that I have a type, but I have a type. And I don't know if others are like I am. She don't look like what Kelsey is used to going out with.
I know exactly.
I'm just putting it out there.
I know exactly what you're saying. He what's the best way to put it? He normally likes a little flavor. Let's say that. He likes a little flavor, right?
I heard Coach, this is a rumor, Coach and Maven, and you'll appreciate this. It's a rumor. I hear that that he likes the Jack Lanza, Dave Hebner types. Have you heard that rumor? Coach, do you care to comment on that rumor?
I would not, and I had not, and I will not.
We need to edit that out, Coach. So we need to tell Raju. Does Raju need to edit that out? I don't know.
I don't even think anybody will know what you're talking about unless they go back like 30 years. But if I had a bingo card, a Coach and Bro bingo card. Jack Lanza, Taylor Swift, Joe Jonas, and Travis Kelsey all mentioned in the same.
There you go. Wow. Money. That's money. That's money, bro. That's money right there.
I smell money. By the way, and I'll wrap up the Kelsey Taylor Swift. He can't be more embarrassed than you guys saw him in Australia this summer when he dressed up in a. You saw this, Maven?
The penguin suit. The penguin suit or the Gucci?
He was in the penguin suit, and he went out and he danced with her on stage at one of her concerts, and he was in a tuxedo.
Yes, yeah. It wasn't a good look. I know that much. It wasn't a good look. But then again, hey, love make you do. I've done dumber things for love, and I've also done dumber things for money. And with him, it might be a little bit of both.
And let that resonate just for a second. I just want to let that sit there for a second. When you make $18 million a year on the field, and let's say he makes 20 million off because he's going to make 16 with the pie. Let's say he makes 35 to 40 million. Can you imagine dating somebody that says, I paid more in taxes than you make in a year, and he makes $45 million? That's how much money she makes. He had to buy a new mansion inside of a gated community, and her security sits outside in black SUVs just so she can be protected, and he had to move out of his apartment in Kansas City. I've got two friends that work inside the Chiefs organization. Can you imagine? He had to buy a $10 million place, like 8 to 10 million, just to
Coach, do you know when I started writing with Vince, okay? I had this purple Geo tracker. Remember the Geo trackers, bro? They were like little Jeeps.
The Jeep knockoffs,
Yeah, it was, bro, I loved it. I loved bro, do you know when I started working for Vince, he literally said to me, you can't be working with me and driving that car. I had to get rid of my purple Geo track that I wish I had to this day. I know how Kelsey feels, bro. I had to get rid of my purple tracker, bro. Can you imagine? I was driving that through Stamford, Connecticut. Vince had a problem with that.
And you had to spend enough time. People thought you were dating back then. You were with him more than you were with your family.
Too much. Way too much.
Russo, top off, top down, or top on?
Oh, top off, man.
Top off. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things were good. Those things were
man.
good.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
Short wheelbase. Yeah.
Yes,
heavy
very short.
rollover incidents.
Very, and it literally looked like you were driving a grape, but I loved it.
You guys realize we just finished bingo straight across. We needed the geo tracker in the right corner, and we got it.
Hit them all.
Yeah, well done, gentlemen. Well done. All right, we've got a few more minutes of football talk, and then we've got a brand new thing launching at Sportskeeda.com. We'll talk about it. It's called Backstage, the Backstage Pass. We're going to talk about that in about 5 minutes. But we have one more topic to talk about. And Maven, this is very, very personal to Vince. And every time you talk about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers or the Giants, it can be very emotional. And yesterday you had one team that had a lead, and yet the Fighting Daniel Joneses gave it away to your Commanders, Maven. And then you had the Jets came back and win. So, Maven, I want you to talk about the Giants Commanders, and then Vince, his heart is exploding with a big Jets win. How bad are the Giants, Maven, if your Commanders are taking them out?
Yeah, and I mean, I think I saw a stat where it was the first, and follow me here because this gets a little tricky. It was the first time a team ever scored 3 touchdowns. Their opponent scored no touchdowns, but that team lost. First time in NFL history. And of course, it's going to be the New York Giants that pulled that off. Now, listen, I'm in no way, shape, or form bragging about my Commanders. They're nothing to look forward to. In fact, I wish I could go back and be a kid and re-pick a favorite team, pick someone that's actually worth looking forward to, because right now they're giving me false hope. And what that false hope is, they're throwing out the number 2 big pick, Jaden Daniels, and he's flashy. And just like that geo tracker that Vince had years ago, he's not long for the world, because anytime a quarterback relies on his gift, and his gift are his legs, that is going to get him decimated. He weighs about as much as one of Kelsey's ex-girlfriends, and one of the days he's going to go across the middle. Seven linemen are going to hit him, hold him up, and one of those free safeties is going to come in and pop him, and his NFL career is going to go the way of RG3, another number 2 pick from years back. So as bad as the Giants were yesterday, all they're doing is prolonging my downfall for the Commanders.
That was well said. I don't know how Vince is going to back that up, except you actually got a dub with your squad yesterday, Vince. Aaron Rodgers didn't even go over 200 yards passing, though. Let's be honest. He did have 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They win in Tennessee. They're 1-1. How do you feel about it?
Bro, well, first of all, I want to say that word on the street in New York, coaches, I'm a little excited, even though the Giants are horrible, bro, and a freaking joke. I don't understand how any New York team, I don't care what the franchise is, bro, if you're in New York, you can't stink up the joint. I mean, the Knicks for decades, bro. And I never understood that you're in New York. But the word on the street, coach, is next week, the Giants are bringing Fran Tarkenton back, so I'm looking forward to that, because I know, bro, whatever he is, 90, 95, 97, he could do a better job than Daniel Jones. But bro, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, because I picked the Jets, bro, because bro, I don't care how many yards he had. He is a pro, bro. In the first game, man, he was out rusty, out all of last year. Does he not look the same as he did in his prime? Absolutely not, bro. But when you are a pro's pro, you could still get the job done. They were in there against the lowly Titans, yes, but man, a W is a W, so we'll take the 1-1 on this point.
I feel like somebody who's really smart in this wrestling football space has a promo that I cannot get out of my head, where the pros are the pro. Do you know who that might be, Vince?
Yeah, where the pros are the pros, bro. Just get it done. Get it done, bro. It doesn't have to look pretty. Just get it done.
All right, we talk about the NFL every single Monday and Thursday. 2 times we drop at 7 p.m. Eastern time right here on Sportskeeda.com. He is Maven. He is Vince. I am the coach. Now, we're not done, but I can tell you this, that if you want some really good wrestling content, we are launching something new. It's called the Backstage Pass, and the link is also here in the show description, patreon.com/backstage pass. And you're going to get really good inside content from our guests, from Vince, and from myself collectively, the 3 of us on this show. Over 20 years inside the WWE, just the 3 of us, maybe more than that. But check it out, the Backstage Pass, several new shows, including Vince. I believe you're going to have a SmackDown recap every week, which I know that you're excited about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could tell you this, Coach. It won't look pretty. The fact that you're making me watch SmackDown on a Friday night, that fact alone, Maven, it ain't going to be pretty. It's Friday night and I'm watching wrestling, bro. It ain't going to be pretty, bro. No holds barred, as they say in the wrestling business, Coach.
Maven, can you imagine me and you, 2 good-looking dudes, staying home on a Friday night to do a recap of SmackDown?
Well, again, in my, experienced age, there's nothing I look forward to more than being at home on a Friday night. That would change if I was forced by you to watch SmackDown. So I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. There's nothing on it. I would literally rather sit and do my taxes every Friday.
I can tell you this, everybody watching at home, as amazing as it sounds, Maven and Vince are the exact same age. It's bananas. It's bananas. The exact same age, these 2. Maven, you've aged like a fine freaking one. And you too, Vince. But, I mean, look at that. 64 years of age. No, all kidding aside, I ran into The Godfather not long ago. We were filming a movie called The Hands. Comes out maybe in 6-7 months. I was the ring announcer. It was a stretch for me. It really was a stretch for me. But Godfather walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, Coach, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while." I'm like, "Man, you look amazing." I was like, "What are you, 51, 52? He looks at me dead in the eye and goes, 63. I said, "What? What?" He says, "Yeah, it's that good weed." I was like, "No." Yeah, but he was dead serious. I said, "Ship me some from Vegas tomorrow."